Good morning, all. Welcome to lecture number 17, Introduction to Sheet Metal Operations. The objective of this class is to understand the various sheet metal operations. So you will come across the terminologies like shearing, blanking, piercing, trimming, notching, nibbling, perforating, coining, and embossing in these coming slides. So first we will see what is sheet metal working is. So far we were discussing about the metal forming operations which are performed under hot working operations as well as cold working operations. So in the case of metal forming operations are basically converted under two categories. One is called bulk deformation process and the next is called as sheet metal operations. So far the operations we have seen like drawing, rolling, extrusion, forging, etc. they are called as bulk deformation process. Whereas the operations which we are performing on a relatively low thickness material that varies between the range of 0.4 mm to 6 mm in the condition of cold working, that is called as sheet metal operations. So as I told you, the sheet metal working, so cutting operations, bending of tube stocks, drawing, then other sheet metal forming operations, dies and presses for sheet metal processes, sheet metal operations not performed on presses. So these are the things what you will be seeing under the complete heading of sheet metal working operations. So the advantages of sheet metal parts are parts where they will have high strength, good dimensional accuracy, good surface finish, relatively low cost and economical mass production for large quantities. And you can see the sheet metal falls wide applications in almost all sectors like automotive, household appliances and others. You can see the trucks or the cars where all the body of these vehicles are covered with the help of parts made from the sheets. So everywhere as is listed out there, automobiles and trucks, airplanes, railway cars and locomotives, farm and construction equipment, small and large appliances, office furniture, computers and office equipment, everywhere you can see the applications of sheet. That is, sheet is formed under the dies and presses to get into the required or final shape, that is what is called as sheet metal operations. And as I told you earlier, majority of the sheet metal operations are performed at room temperature, so it falls under to the category of cold working operations. So some more you can see the various parts of the car, the various equipments you can see, they all are made from the sheet metal operations. So you can see you can see some parts, some cutting is done here, and you can see some cutting is done, and here you can see that they are formed. This is the what is the, this is you can see this is a particular part for some kind of missile domes, etc. But you can see these all things are formed from the sheet where no cutting is taking place. So that is why in the first slide we have mentioned that in the sheet metal there are cutting operations are existed as well as forming operations are present. You can see the beverage cans, the various parts, the various computer devices, everywhere you can find the application of sheets, where in somewhere the cutting is done, in some cases you can see the forming is done. There are other applications are also there. We will see when a process is changing how we are going to change the name in the case of sheet metal operations. So you can see in this slide a typical die and punch combinations. So using these kinds of die and punch combinations which you are keeping on a hydraulic or mechanical presses, the various stamping processes, okay, the various stamping processes are being performed on the sheets. That is punch and die tooling to perform cutting, bending and drawing operation. So they will fit into the stamping press. So machine tool that performs most sheet metal operations. So stampings, the sheet metal products, whatever you are getting as a final product, that is called as the stamping. Hope you everyone will be using the wristwatches on your hand. Okay, so have you ever opened a wristwatch and see there are plenty of gears like this which is very smaller in size, okay, which is much smaller than this, okay, very smaller in size, is being packed inside, which actually connects your needle and the motor mechanism for movement of your needles inside your watch. So they are basically made by using this sheet metal stamping operations with the help of stamping press, with the help of suitable punch and die processes. So basically if you see the sheet metal operations, I can put all the sheet metal operations under broad three heading. One is cutting, next is bending, next is drawing. That is, if we are cutting and removing a certain section of a sheet metal part, okay, with the help of shearing force, that is called as cutting operations. So shearing to separate large sheets into the required size. Then the next operation under which falls under the category of cutting itself, that is called blanking. Okay, so blanking is nothing but they are a useful part which you are cutting from the sheet, which will be further processed for these kinds of drawing or forming operations. Okay, so from a large sheet, according to our dimensions, if you are cutting a small perimeter out of it in various shapes, they are called as blanking operation. And cutting a small hole on a sheet metal, that is called as punching operation. These are, so under cutting you will have shearing, blanking and punching operation. We will see it details in the coming slides. The next set of operations which you can perform on the sheet metal, they are called as bending. So bending of sheets can be done at 90-degree perfect axis, or you can have a shape of V. So there are typical or specific types of dies and press combinations that you will be using for bending operation. The next one operation, that is called drawing, one of the important operation which you will be performing in the sheet, to which the sheet will be kept in between the set of dies and specific convex or concave shapes are being formed. That is the steel glasses or the steel vessels, or you might have seen the steel wash basins, okay, or the steel beverage cans. These all are actually drawn from the sheet. Okay, these actually are drawn from the sheets according to the required dimension. So the raw material which are used for drawing these sheets into the formed condition, they are nothing but called as the blank. From the blank only you are making this drawing products. So we will see what is sheet metal cutting is. So this is a typical figure which illustrates the sheet metal cutting. So you can see for every sheet metal operation there is a die and punch is required. The stationary part is called as die and the movable part is called as punch. And you can see the die and punch are kept at certain distance apart, that is called as the clearance which you will provide between your die and punch. If you don't have the proper clearances provided over here, sometimes the die and punch will get stuck in between. Once it is stuck in between, you have to cut or break the die and punch to separate it out. Or if you have excess clearance, what happens is that the edge of the sheet which you are cutting, that will not have any proper shape. So there is a equations, mathematical equations are available to calculate the clearance between your die and punch. So whenever a sheet metal cutting is taking place, basically shearing is the operation which is taking place. That is, you are exerting a force with the help of a punch. The material will try to resist it in the opposite direction. When your applied force exceeds the material's resistance, that is the shear strength. That is the shear strength. So in the shear plane, the material will starts to deform. So at this area, you can see you are applying force is more, material starts to resist. Now in this point, if you try to move your punch back, the material may try to come back to its original position if it has not gone into the plastic condition. So exerting more amount of force over here, you can see in between the area, the fracture is taking place. So cutting the sheet into its required shape or condition with the help of a die and punch, we call it as the cutting operation. So the steps involved in the shearing of the sheet metal, which is shown in the bullets over here. You can just read it. Now if we see the sheet metal process in detail, the cutting, I can say that it is of shearing, blanking, fine blanking, punching or piercing, trimming, notching, perforating, slitting, lancing, parting and shaving. We will see one by one what are these operations are. So shearing, as I already told you, it is nothing but the cutting operation, that is also called as shearing operation. So shearing is defined as separating the material into two parts. So it utilizes shearing force to cut the material. You can see I have a die and I have a punch. They are kept at a certain distance apart. Clearance. So how to calculate the clearance? I'll put it in the coming slides. Not in this lecture video. I'll put it in some other class slides. Okay, so you can see with the help of the shearing force, sheet is cutting into the two parts. So that is called as shearing or cutting operation. Both shearing and cutting, they remains the same operation. So we will see what is blanking. So you can see again. So in between the sheet, you are cutting and you are cutting a required shaped part. Okay, which is nothing but the raw material for further operations. They are called as blank or blanking operation. So similar approach only you will be employing for making a hole on a strip or a hole on a sheet metal plate. But in the case of piercing or punching operation, whatever you are obtaining like this, that will be a scrap and this will be your useful work. Whereas in the case of blanking operation, whatever you are stripping out from your sheet, that is the useful work, and this finally after making many blanks, this will become this sheet, whatever is left out on a sheet, that will become a scrap. So in the case of a blanking operation, the first step is to calculate or to make the drawing in such a way that maximum sheet has to be utilized. That is, if I cut a blank like this, how many blanks by making this in various contours can be effectively cut from the sheet, that I have to calculate first, and accordingly I have to proceed further. So the difference between the blanking and the punching is that in the case of blanking, whatever is the stripped out part, that is the useful work. But whereas in the case of punching operation, this will become a scrap. This sheet is the useful work. There is a next operation that is called fine blanking operation. So the difference between the blanking and the fine blanking is that when you apply a force on a sheet, a larger amount of force on a sheet, the sheet will get deformed in a faster manner. But what happens is that the edges of the sheet may not be uniform, or the edges of the sheet will vary, or some bends or some kind of cracks or wavy edges may be present over there. So if I want to minimize that effect, or that is if wavy edges or something like is present like that, if I try to deform with that sheet, sometimes it may extend to a crack or my part may get damaged, etc. So to avoid that, there is an operation is there that is called fine blanking. So in the fine blanking, what is done is that a counter force is provided in the gap between your die and punch, where the material has to be stripped out. So slowly only your punch force is going to act on the sheet. So you are providing a cushioning effect with the help of the counter force, so that you will get a non-burr, okay, a non-burr and a perfect edge, okay, a perfect edge cut blank you can be obtained. That operation is called as fine blanking operation. So in all the sheet metal operations, you require a die and a punch. So the die and punch, it will be come together as a die and punch assembly. And this die and punch assembly you will be fitting normally into the hydraulic presses. Okay, and the hydraulic press, according to the force movement or according to the ram movement, you can see your punch will move down. So this is nothing but the shape which you want to cut off. Okay, so that is the gap between your blank and your gap between your die and punch. The blank will be taken out. So that is what is happening in almost every sheet metal operations. Now this is called the next set of cutting operation, that is called punching or piercing operation. I have already told you. Now a hole is cut on a sheet. So the cutted part is scrap, or it is also called as slug, whereas this is the useful product which this is a useful sheet which I will be taken into the, or which I will be using for the further usages or further experimental purposes. So that is called as punching or piercing, making a hole on a sheet, that is called as the punching operation. The next operation, that is called trimming. As I told you, you can see these all are wavy edges. If my blank has not properly cut off, okay, you can see some waviness in the edges has happened. So when I deformed a part from that sheet, what happens is that waviness edge remains over there. So if I want to get a beautiful shaped part like this edge has to be trimmed off. So trimming, so punching away the excess material from the perimeter of a part, that is called as trimming operation. This is called as the drawing operation. Drawing a cup, once the cup has been drawn, the extended part or the bended part like this from the sheet, that is called as the flange. To get the beautiful flange like this excess things has to be removed off. So removing that operation, that is called as trimming operation. The next two operations, they are called as parting and perforating operation. So parting off means this is my product 1, this is the balance sheet. So after performing the operation, the part 1 and the sheet 2 is separated by removing the scrap in between. That operation is called as parting operation. Perforating, you can see a continuous holes are being drilled on a surface. So continuous holes are drilled on a surface. It is not drilling, it is again stamping. No machining is taking place. With the help of stamping dies, holes are being cut off continuously on a sheet metal. That operation is called as perforating. You might have seen this kind of perforated parts on the side walls of your computer or side walls of other parts wherever air entry is a must. And also you can see the edges of your old bill books, okay, edges of kind of coupon books, they will have these kinds of perforating, through which they will be separating the two sheets separated. So that is called as the perforating operation, where a close arrangement of a large number of holes in a single operation you are performing, that is called as perforating. In the case of drilling, each and every hole like this you have to drill it manually one by one, whereas in the case of sheet metal operation, all these holes are drilled at a single stretch with the help of perforating dies. So we will see the next sheet metal operation, slitting and lancing. So in the slitting operation, as is shown over here, so straight lines in the sheet is cut, no scrap is being produced. That is, you are providing some air passage to the specific areas of the product, but you want to minimize the entry of air into it. So these are some kind of formation. You can see in another operation, lancing. Normally again, so all the three types of lancing is shown over here. So normally in the decks or in the other areas, you can see these kinds of lanced components, they will be keeping off. So you can see this material is left attached to be bend and form shape, such as a tab, vent or lower. So according to its use and according to its need, you can use the sheet metal operation lancing. You can fit into it various applications wherever it is required. So the next set of operation, that is called as nibbling and notching. So nibbling is nothing but you can see it is a contour shape you are obtaining. So punching a series of small overlapping slits or holes along a path to cut out a larger contour shape. So a contour shape is your final object. You want to get a shape like that. To get a shape like this, you are cutting one over the other with the help of punching holes, okay, one on the other. So you are getting a contour shape like that. So that operation is called as nibbling. So either punching a series of small overlapping slits or holes along a path to cut out a larger contour shape. So that is called nibbling. So notching is also a similar operation. So edges of the sheet you are cutting into any kind of formation. It need not to be of a specific shape like this. Any shape which is shown over there you are cutting the edges of a sheet. That is called as notching operation. Again, cutting is taking place. That's why it's called as punching the edge of a sheet, forming a notch in the shape of a portion of a punch. So a shape, any kind, such kind of shapes if you are providing, that is called as notching operation. Next two operations are called as embossing and coining. So you can see the coining is the operation in which the coins are made from the sheet metal. Again, embossing is a similar operation like coining, but the difference between the embossing and coining is that in coining you will have both the sides stamping is done with two different conditions. So a 10 rupee coin is shown over there for an example, where one side the 10 rupee is marked and on the back side you can see the Ashoka Stamba is marked on the back side of the coin. Whereas in the case of embossing, your part is projected out from the sheet, whereas the other side it will be the opposite replica of it. That is, in the backside of an embossed part, there will not be, no speciality won't be there. Whereas in the case of coin, both the sides, both different stampings you are providing on the same or similar kind of sheets. So that two operations, they are called as embossing and coining. So you can see in the case of embossing, punch and die are of the same contour but in opposite direction. Whereas in the case of coining, you can see similar to embossing with the difference that similar or different impressions are obtained on both sides of sheet metal. That is called coining operation. Now another two operations are shaving and dinging operation. So shaving operation is nothing but it's a finishing, almost a finishing operation in a sheet metal. Very minimum material is being removed in the shaving operation. So normally the shearing away minimal material from the edges of a feature or a part using a small die clearance used to improve accuracy or finish. Tolerances of plus or minus 0.025 mm are possible with the help of shaving operation. Dinging is a similar operation that is done with the help of a dinging die that is normally carried out in very what you can say very soft materials are being processed with the help of dinging die, that's called as dinging operation. It is a similar piercing operation that is used for punching holes on the soft material. So the die, which is a bevel shaped die, you will be using, that is called as the dinging die. So die is bevel, we having sharpened edge, presses in the sheet into a block of a wood or soft metal. So either for forming on the wood or on the soft metal, you will be using this dinging dies. So these all are some kind of sheet metal operations which you can perform either single in nature or combined in nature to get your final products out. Now once this holes or the parts are being cut on your sheet, the sheet will be further rolled or drawn into the various shapes to get the parts which you have seen in the first few slides. Next, cutoff. Cutoff is separating a part from the remaining sheet without producing any scrap. So the punch will produce a cut line that may be straight, angled or curved. So all the kinds of sheet metal covers, the switch covers, your motor covers, your vehicle covers, or the vehicle casing, vehicle case, that all things are normally made by using the combinations of the processes which we have discussed over here. So with that, I will wind up the lecture number 17. Thank you. We will discuss the questions. We will take up the questions in the next class. Thank you.